Welcome everybody to the Culture Shock Podcast, episode number 5. It's me, your boy Pat Bayless, and my co-host Los, and we're here today with another special guest, the voice of Rucker. I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of boys out here gonna be watching this and saying, "Oh, we already know that face. We don't even need an introduction." But anybody that doesn't know this man is special. His voice is special. His talent is special. And without further ado, my guy, Mike Lowry. What's up,
What's
Mike
baby?
good? What's good? What's
Lowry.
good? I
I
What's
appreciate.
up?
like
Thanks for
it.
having me. What I mean, being that I'm on here real quick, I'm just gonna do one up for y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all ain't never heard this before. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm your man from across the bridge where hip hop got started from the boogie down Bronx, New York. They call me yours truly, Mike Larry. You can catch me anywhere in the summer, especially Rucker Park. But tonight I'm here at that good old Culture Shock. What's up?
Yeah, my guy. Yeah, you
Mm.
see?
That was a nice little
Normal.
drop. A
That
little
Yeah,
was
drop.
yeah.
light.
Okay,
That was
okay.
light.
I'm
That
Mike
was very
Lowry.
light. So, Mike, you say you from the Bronx.
Yeah, from the boogie down Bronx.
How was
From
it?
the
How was
Bronx.
it growing up there?
Oh man, I ain't. So you already know the world we living in now is hectic. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
Very sure.
But growing up, you know what I mean, in the Bronx, it was the birthplace of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody helped everybody. The culture is just a tad bit different as far as the Bronx go. Um, I love it. You feel what I'm saying? I rep it because it taught me everything I needed to know. You know what I mean? It taught me about the downs. It taught me about the ups. It taught me about the highs and the lows. You know what I mean? The do's and the don'ts. You understand?
Right.
A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to dot every I and loop every G, cross every T." I'm like, nah, not not in life. You feel? Because you're not gonna be able to
Mhm.
do it. But you know what I mean? Growing up in the Bronx was healthy. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. I don't know. Can't speak for anyone else, but I enjoyed it a lot.
You believe that's where your swagger come from? Like when you do what you do, you putting on
Of course.
for just the for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up, you just feel like you putting on for everybody. And you're
Yeah.
like,
So I grew up, born and raised in the Bronx. Went to school in Harlem, junior high school in Harlem,
okay,
and then I used to work in Harlem. So I was always in Harlem. You feel
right.
Harlem in the Bronx. So I got the tough lessons from the Bronx. I got the swadag from Harlem, and I come back. So it was so every time I grace the stage is for me it's I gotta put on and let people know that it's all right to put on and be humble. You
Mm.
understand? People get there, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Calm,
Mm-hmm.
simmer down, beloved. Like calm
Mhm.
down
Oh,
and figure out a way to be somebody. You feel what I'm
healthy.
saying? Yeah. So what I mean, a lot of those things, man. So yeah, I definitely try to put on for the Bronx every time, every opportunity I get.
Fire, fire.
So let's get the elephant out the room, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Legendary games.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary
Oh
moments.
yeah.
Let me get at least let me get like a top two, top three. Like, come on,
So
who
I
have?
give you, I'm gonna give you two, right? I'm gonna give
Okay,
you two. All right. When I first started off, 9 years ago, 2014, uh, I was at Tri-State. Big shout
okay,
out to my man Mousy. I was at Tri-State. Then I went to Rucker that same year. I got called for a game, Adidas All-Star game. Donovan Mitchell was there, high school.
Okay.
This is
Oh,
high
that's
school Donovan Mitchell.
okay.
Spider.
Spider, you know what I mean? And it went
Mhm.
viral too. It's on YouTube. I'll make sure I send y'all the link. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, it. I was doing the game, and there was another announcer there, and when I started at Rucker, he always say, "Nah, I don't do high school. I do unlimited. I don't do high school." So I'm like, "All right, bet." So I was doing high school, but now he heard all these top names coming. He like, "I want to do high school." Nah, Playboy, it's
Mm,
my show.
Right.
mm,
Donovan Mitchell came on the stage and went crazy, yo.
mm.
He just went crazy. And mine, this is high school Donovan Mitchell. This is getting ready to go to Louisville Donovan Mitchell. This
Right.
is not
Dunking on
Utah
niggas though.
Jazz. Yeah,
Right.
this is just
Right.
dunking on dude Donovan Mitchell. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was that guy. So that game, and that was once again high school. And then for pro, Lance Stevenson came out. He came out
Oh,
2 years in a
chill.
row, but
Born
not
ready.
last year, but the year before, Born Ready. He came out now. Born Ready got that name at Rucker, but he was in high school when he got that name.
Right.
Now we
Yes.
got Pro Lance, and Lance is
Different
he
bag.
on the he make you
Different
Yeah. Yeah.
bag.
dance.
He
You
got
feel what I'm
that
saying?
swagger.
Lance, you know what I mean?
Make
So
them dance, Lance.
you
Yeah.
make him dance, Lance. So I got talk about and it's a funny story about that name, right? Make him dance, Lance. I had text Lance like on my personal line, like, yo, tell LeBron because LeBron came on one of the post games and was like, well, that's make him dance Lance. Tell LeBron I gave you that name. Cut it out.
Mm.
Like, we not going. And I was dead
that.
serious. And he responded back too, was like, facts, you sure did. Let him know that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
facts, exactly. So King James,
those
that
legendary games, and then you got Nas Reed, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
And this when Nas, before you get
that's
to pro,
that jelly
you play your
fam,
position.
that jelly fam
Yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Isaiah Washington, they came, and it was JQ, you understand,
Mhm.
Alabama,
He's
Zay
different.
Walsh, he oversees. Yeah, so those games for me was it. I ain't tapping with the Omar Cooks and Lamar Odom. I ain't never have a chance to call those games. So I had to make my own stamp and call the game. So everybody get an opportunity. You understand?
Mhm.
So those are two legends, those top two games for me. And if I had to add a third one, I would add Marquise Noel, Mr. New York City versus Isaiah Washington. Bishop Lockton versus St. Ray's. I got video on that too. So footage is crazy. They went at it, man.
Listen,
Yeah, that was tough.
I'm getting to it. The New York scene of basketball, because it looks like some of these guys like you said, like the Isaiah Washingtons, some of these guys are staying home. Well, he left, but he stayed home initially. You know what I mean, to go to high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, can we talk about the just the direction and the ascension of New York basketball coming back to the prominence? Like, kids are staying home and actually going to high school out here.
So going to high school out here for the kids is I always say, you just got to find your niche. You understand?
Right.
Now, it shouldn't take you as a young kid, right? What are you looking out of a program? A lot of people look for the wrong things out of a program, so that's why they gotta. I'm reclassing. I'm transferring. I'm doing this because you went into there looking for the wrong things out of the wrong program. You understand? So you got to find what is that I'm looking for this program. I'm looking to develop, and a lot of places develop. New York kids basketball, they develop kids, but you got to give it time. Right? Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Neither was Los, neither was Pat. You feel what I'm saying? You had to find yourself. Yeah, you go through your trials and tribulations, your bumps and bruises. And the first sign of trials and tribulation, a lot of kids is leaving. So I think that now that they staying home, you feel what I'm saying? Posh Alexander went to OSL. Now he's at St. John's. You feel what I'm saying? It's my guy. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Big East Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. So you see these guys, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? They stayed home because I'm in it for the right reason. So I think it's coming back to its prominence because people stand for the right reasons. They doing exactly what they got to do, and they looking for something. You understand? You can't have a million people, too many hands in the kitchen. Somebody gonna mess up the mac and cheese.
That's true. And it's very, 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 very easy to mess up the mac and cheese.
And everybody don't eat anybody mac and cheese.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I'll be the one to tell you. I definitely don't eat everybody eat mac and cheese.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't have, you know what I mean? And I just heard the phrase probably like 4 years ago, and it was like, oh, yeah, who's his handler? I'm like, handler? Like, what's a handler? And they're like, yeah, who calls the shots? I'm like, word? Like, kids got that? And then you got kids that, you know, anybody, basketball player, any professional player, you paid on your potential. So when people look at the potential, now they want to ride that coattail, lack of a better term, for your potential. And now you could be doing a kid more harm than good.
And I feel like that happens a lot too.
And I think too, sometimes too, I think that what kids are now starting to see with social media now being so prominent, like they have so much material to reference from. You know what I'm saying? Like you said before, they got the Lamar Odoms, they got the Marburys. I mean, the Ross Stricklands of them. Well, I think he might have been Jersey, but you know, and then they got all these younger guys that's you know, prominent, and then you got Kimba and Taj being from New York, playing in New York. You know what I'm saying? And Obi too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no better. There's like that's like the number one thing. Like if I was a young kid playing football and I saw a dude from New York playing on the Jets or the Giants, like a dude from the hood, though. You know what I mean? Like
it's nothing like New York. I don't think people understand how happy I was for Isaiah Washington, Jelly Fam, right? I was so happy for him because he was grinding and he was doing here.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? Like you was doing it here, Marquise Noel, you're doing it here. Right. You didn't go to, and no disclaimer, I have nothing against no other school or anything outside of New York. You feel what I'm saying? But when you do it in New York, I tell people, if you could drive in New York, you could drive anywhere.
Right.
If you could play ball in New York,
that's 100%.
Yeah, so if you could play ball in New York,
Yeah.
you go anywhere. I went to
Yep.
Australia to do an event,
Yep.
and I'm calling the game. They like, oh my god, like y'all think this is amazing. I ain't even hit level 10 yet. I'm still warming up. Like,
Nah, this
Right.
this guy's special. I ain't gonna lie.
you
Mike
understand?
is
So
special.
But that's the New York swag, though. We in abundance.
Yeah, but
we're in abundance. But you got to also keep in mind is that people wanna they love you until they can't love you no more.
right.
This is why I try my best, and I think I do a phenomenal job. I try my best to stay humble with it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my wife, she always say, "Oh, I'm married to a celebrity." I be like, "Nah," you understand? And just now, I was walking to come here to come set up for, and somebody was like, "Yo, Mike Larry," and I was on the phone. She goes, "See, you see?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "Nah," but I deny it because that's me reminding me to stay humble. You understand? Because
Yeah.
people want to work with humble. People want to book the humble. You
Right.
cocky if you this, that. I don't want to book you. They don't want to talk with you because you too full of yourself. You understand?
Right.
So, but we do come with that swag, and there's nothing wrong with that swag. There's a thin line between confidence and cockiness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And playing ball, that shit almost seeps out. You know what I'm saying? It
Oh,
Like a
almost
sure.
mug.
When you hell
Mhm.
yeah. Definitely.
I was that guy. I ain't gonna lie. I was a shooter. See, I dunked until I tore my meniscus in my knee, so that was over with. You feel what
I'll
I'm saying?
pay
But I was
anything
a
to dunk.
shooter. Yeah, so I was a shooter.
I'll
I
pay
only
anything to dunk,
dunked
man.
twice. I dunked twice in my whole career. Let me not talk like I was somebody. You feel what I'm saying? But I was a shooter.
I can't jump
And
over a yellow book, bro. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
yeah, so I was a
Damn.
shooter. So I was the guy that used to be like, yo, can we play ball? Like, let's not talk. Can we play ball? Let's not talk.
Right.
Until one day, this kid just got me tight, and I was like, I'm just going. And I was ready for all the smoke like a hookah lounge. Like, I wasn't going duck nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And I was talking spicy, and I'm like, I'm probably going to have to fight after this. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew I was
That's
probably
how
going
it
to have to fight after this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank God I didn't, but that's when I realized, like, this is unhealthy. Like, playing basketball like this is unhealthy because
It's
it could
toxic.
become, because some people don't know how to keep it basketball.
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like
And
that's
I
I feel
always
that's a
say
lot of
talking
people
shit's an
though.
art.
That's
Talking
life.
shit is truly an art. I don't care what anybody says. Talking shit is an art because there's a way you could talk shit about somebody without disrespecting them personally, but disrespecting their whole
Absolutely.
game. You can tell everything about
You
their
can.
game, and now they mad. But as soon as you
Mhm.
get to SMD and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like that,
over.
you get
Or
you know what I'm
personal
saying? It's
stuff,
like,
you know what I
bro,
mean?
Yeah, I know
completely
y'all seen
different
above the
types.
rim. Yeah, as soon
Chill,
as you
chill.
SMD, I'm grabbing the bag. Like, yo, who
Nah,
this?
yeah. Nowadays it's so quick, man.
Bag.
It's so quick
Grab
for
the
them to say
still.
it.
Yeah,
It's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
And it's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's a lot to deal with it, man.
Now what? You have. You started off and you meeting all these people and you're doing amazing work. Now what from the work that you did at Rucker? What kind of work came to you from the outside where you kind of got to do special things that you probably never thought you'd ever be able to do and be around people you never thought you'd be able to be around at first? Maybe when you was growing
So
up.
so good question, Pat. One of the things from what Rucker brought me was, and I got to be careful how I say this because a lot of people say, "Oh, Rucker did that for you," and Rucker gave me the platform.
Right.
My work did that for me. You
Right.
understand? They just not going to get a bum at Rucker. He got to be nice at Rucker. You understand? So they gave me the platform. But to answer your question, I went to Australia back-to-back years, 2017 and 2018. I went to Rucker Park and I went to Australia and I got that gig based off some people who was looking me up. They found me on Instagram, reached out to me. It's like, yo, we want to fly you out to Australia. I'm like, Australia? I'm like, I bet. Seen the zeros on that check. I said, I bet.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the type of
How
guy
long's
that
the
really
flight?
like. I'm not the type of guy that like to be on a plane that long. But it was 26 hours, so I was sitting on that
Sheesh.
plane, like, you understand. But Rucker Park, Australia was one of them. Then I did Allen Houston's Celebrity Game in 2014.
That's fine.
And he had you name it, he was there. Lil Caesar, the kid that played in Biggie Smalls movie that played Caesar. So he had a lot
That's
of people,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, I can
He had a
imagine.
lot of people there. So I did that All-Star game, and I thought that was it. I'm like, oh snap, I made it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For chump change at that, and that was year
Right.
one, so I didn't know the ins and outs of this. And
Right.
then the Australia, of course, was a bigger bag, and not even about the money, but just about the opportunity.
Right.
And then one thing I tell everybody, and I preach to everybody, is that a no don't scare me. A no does not scare me. Byron Scott got a basketball league called Primetime Basketball, and it was for retired players: Amari Stoudemire, Omar Cook. I believe Lamar Odom made an appearance. I don't think he played yet, but I think LO made an appearance. Street Ball legend Homicide played. Charles Jones played. So you had these Street Ball legends and pros that came out to play. And Daniel Booby Gibson, he came out.
Booby.
Carlos Arroyo, he came out. You feel what I'm saying? So he had some hitters that was there. And Byron Scott. So what happened was he had posted it on his page. I just so happened to be following him. And it came up. So I wasn't following him yet. What happened was, you know how them sponsor joints come up on you when you're reading them. So I seen the league and I was looking at it like, so I jumped in, you know what I mean, right in his DM, like, what's up? I go by the name of Mike Larry. I'm the host. I'm the MC at Rucker Park.
Yeah.
Are y'all looking for an announcer? You know, sometimes they don't hit you back. I put my phone down. I seen them dots. Bing! I looked at my phone like, he said, call this number in 5 minutes. I called the number in 2. Like, hello? The guy was like, yeah, Coach Scott told me about you. We want to try you out. Come to Rutgers University. So I went to Rutgers University. Me and Booby Smooth, who I consider my GOAT. Booby Smooth is a GOAT to me. Booby Smooth was doing the game. I'm like, yo, Booby, you take one team and I take a team. They only giving me the first quarter. 12 minutes in the NBA pro game.
Yeah.
So he was like, nah, you do the punching and color commentary. I'm going to do the game. So I'm like, they're not going to keep me. You ain't giving me love. I'm like, oh, man. Booby had got a phone call and was like, yo, take the game. I got to take this. I went crazy. 6 minutes, I was going crazy. And they was like, yo. So at the end of the first quarter, I got ready to hand them the mic back. And they was like, no, keep it. Finish the game. And that's how I got on with Coach Scott. So I'm the official announcer for Primetime Basketball League as well. So those things, Rucker Park gave me the stage to really showcase my talent. And I pray that I do it justice, that people reach out. You understand? I've been doing that. So 9 years running, and it's finally coming around like it should come around.
Los, I ain't gonna lie to you, Los. Mike got I met Mike through Crunch Time Basketball. I played in the only one game of Crunch Time Basketball. It was a heckler game. And Mike was there. This is how I met Mike. Mike seen maybe my worst moment playing basketball my whole life. Yeah, I know he remembered it because he called it. I know he fucking remembered it, but he called it. So we playing, and one of my homies, shout out to White.
With that.
Yo, bro. Me and him talking all week. He's like, I'm gonna shoot your eyes out. Because me and him both shoot. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna get that one-on-one. And we just gonna go shot for shot. So he gets a one-on-one. I gotta find a video, bro. He gets
Don't tell me you fell.
Nah. Worse. I feel like it's worse. He gets a one-on-one. And I hear Mike in my ear saying, boom, 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 boom. Here we go, da. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm locked in. So I pause. I spread my legs over my arms. I'm like, hey, let's go. So I'm locked in. So I'm thinking he's gonna shoot. So I'm waiting. I'm play up. This motherfucker throws the ball between my legs.
Oh God.
Yes, he spins, bro. Spins around me, grabs the ball, does a step back. I didn't fall. I stayed. But they called a foul. I don't know.
Air one count.
Yeah, they gave him the L1, boy.
So he did the old Allen Iverson. I don't know. Remember the old Allen Iverson commercial when you spin and throw the ball behind your back?
Yeah.
So he did that, but through his legs.
Through my legs, bro. I gotta find
a video. I'm gonna find you. I gotta find that.
Disrespectful.
And Mike's commentary was perfect.
And the fact that you didn't, if you had moved, you would have fell. So I'm glad you didn't move. I'm glad because if you took a step back, because he spun, you took a step back, he would have been right there.
Down for the count.
That's top 2 worst moments of my ever playing. I was like, God damn it, he got everybody going. He like, oh.
It could have been worse. You could have fell.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
could have fell. You could have fell. He could have hit the shot and won.
It was a perfect moment. You know
it was.
Everybody. It was a perfect moment. So, unfortunately, he was on the other side of it. So
exactly.
But not for nothing. This is the type of shit that's dangerous, though, because you got these announcers hyping this shit up.
Oh my God!
Here we go. You're like, damn.
And you know what's best about it? The announcers always got names for everybody. So Mike, I came off the bench. So Mike giving everybody a name as he's seeing whatever he's looking at. So I'm like, damn, what this motherfucker gonna call me now? Because he calling the big boy. He called one of the big boy snacks. I'm like, shit. I'm
Snacks,
like, bro, what he gonna call me?
Meal plan, like I got nicknames for that, and I try to make my nicknames a little funny, but I also try to make my nicknames part of how you play. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I like consistency. I don't like somebody having one good game. If you get 30 on a good night, but you average 4 points a game, I can't call you Mr. 30 ball. You have one game.
Right. You're not 30
people. Yeah, you're not 30 ball. You know what I mean? You lucked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have their team. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? It's good.
I remember that. I come in the game and I'm like, all right, what he gonna call me as soon as I touch his
So
ball?
what was his name though? You ain't say what his name. What was
I don't recall, man.
So
I don't.
I'm in the corner, right? The guy kicks it. I'm taking. I'm like, as I'm catching it, I hear him. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this shit. So I'm shooting it in the air. All I hear is Mr. Boricua. I said, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm good. I was like,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
he was
it.
like, it wasn't that bad. He was all
right.
It's
all good. It's all good.
Because he could have said some shit. You could have airballed it, and it would have worked. It would have worked.
That's it. Done.
Nah, that fits you. You know what I'm saying? That fits you. Definitely.
But he quick with it, man. I mean, like I say, that's just your gift. Like, it's a talent, but it's a gift given, man. In my opinion, it's a gift given to you, bro. Because you step into a room and you, for real, as soon as you stepped into that court, you felt like the atmosphere kind of goes around you in that way. Even though people are playing, people are looking for you for that energy on top of it. So I think that's special.
I appreciate that. And the fact that you even said that, right? And this is what I be trying to get people to understand is like, I went to an event and they had somebody on the mic, and it's hard. It's like if y'all see somebody else's podcast that's not hitting like y'all, I know y'all face cringe. Like, what's happening here? Like, why they sound like that? I know y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, when I go to another event and I hear another announcer that's not hitting, I be like, I wear my emotions on my face, and I was hearing how, and I'm like, there's so much more you could do. You got to interact with the crowd. You got to stand and laugh with everybody. You feel what I'm saying? There's this one girl that was at that game. To this day, she still remember. Every time I put up a post or something, she's like the best MC ever. You only came to one of my games, Phil. How you figure? You feel what I'm saying? Right. I made an impact, and that's what you try to do.
And I think it's energy. The number one thing for me is energy. Like if energy is the thing, and then because after that, then you can make me laugh. Then you comment on the game. You know, you involve the crowd. But if you're not energetic and I'm not, and you're not making me want to listen, I'm just gonna watch the game. You could sit over there. You know what I mean? Because
I'm put your mic on mute.
Right.
Yeah. For real,
even NBA players, like sometimes we watch the games. It's like when Mark Jackson on the game, I'm like,
yes, word. I'm the same way when
all the commentators are. Yeah, for
sure. Mike Breen has a career off of saying one word.
Bang!
One word. And that shit is iconic. You know what I'm saying?
Iconic. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to my man Mark Jackson, who I consider a mentor. Me and him talk frequently. And one day he came to Rucker Park, and I was sitting in the stands just by myself, you know what I mean, pondering. So I went to the park, and I was just looking. And it's like above the rim, right? When he was shadow playing with himself, you know what I mean, playing basketball by himself.
Tom Shepard.
So I did that. Shep, you know what I mean? You can't get higher than me, flip that. You know what I mean? So, I'm doing one of those. So I sat in the stands, and I was sitting there by myself, and I was like, kick out top of the key, spin move, excuse me, stop on the dime, give him 9 for the change. I'm doing this, and the court is empty, and I'm just looking like, all right, bet. Let me get back here next week. Now I figure it out. And as I'm walking out the park, I see Mark Jackson. I'm like, oh, snap. Yo, quick question, man. There's one line that you say that I love so much. Is it all right if I use it in my repertoire? He was like, what's that? I said, all right, bet. So he was there with his sons. I gave his son a basketball, and I said, I need you to go to half court, run to the free throw line, stop and hit a jump shot. He was like, all right, bet. So Mark is standing right next to me, and his son did it. And I said, there he go, drive the lane, stop on a dime, and give him 9 cents of change. Mark was like, take it, that you can have it, that's it. And when he gave me that blessing, he was like, you got it, like that. So and every once in a while, I hit him up and we'll talk, and he'll give me some insight on things to do. And he's the reason why I started voiceovers. Every once in a while, I put a voiceover of an NBA clip or a basketball clip. That Andrew Wiggins dunk that I posted that on my page, and I did a voiceover like. 2 dribbles and penthouse vibes. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Oh my
stuff like
God.
that.
2 dribbles and penitentiary. Max
Yeah.
max security.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're straight to the penthouse with that, man.
I'm still baffled on that one. I'm gonna digress because I could talk for 20 minutes about that one. I'm like,
Yeah, definitely.
if you had like a dream, because like I said, you achieving all these great goals, what would be like a dream opportunity for you that you would just love to do, like something that you just have on that bucket list that you haven't touched yet, but you just want to do?
I want to do and it's funny, but I got an answer already. I want to do NBA All-Star Weekend.
Oh my God, I'd
I
be
just
lit,
said that
bro.
in my head. I was like, NBA All Star
I,
game.
I want to do NBA All-Star. Y'all ain't got to give me the whole game. Give me the first quarter, because I promise you, like I did, y'all gonna want me to do the whole game.
Nah, fourth
Right.
quarter. Fourth quarter.
Yeah. No, give me the first quarter, because once they
Because
see
he
a
gonna end it
preview of
before.
it, they
Yeah.
gonna see a preview. They gonna be
Okay.
like, we have to keep him here.
Right.
Okay,
And
got
then,
it.
and then
Right.
I want to do NBA All-Star game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Just to show y'all the atmosphere that it could happen. You understand? So that's my dream. I'm working towards that. And that's the politics of life, the politics of life and the game that we all gotta, you know what I mean,
Sure.
You gotta funnel
come
through.
across or get over. You know what I mean? So one step
Right.
at a time.
I'm interested in this. Let me and I could be wrong here, but did and one have more of a influence on like the announcers and getting and influencing more swag into the game, making it more showmanship?
Do you know where N1 got the blueprint from?
I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
EBC, Rucker Park, the Entertainers Basketball Classic. So,
Mm.
and I'm not going to tell the whole story because there's a lot of logistics, and I don't need nobody showing Mike Larry. But a lot of those players that started that's playing in N1, you know what I mean, the Bone Collectors, the AOs, the main events, half man, half amazing. They played at Rucker. They
Mm.
played at EBC, Entertainers Basketball Class. They played at Rucker Park. So those guys, you know, so they came there. So the announcer, the N1 announcer, came from Rucker, Duke Tango.
Mm.
You
Mm.
understand? He came from Rucker. So all they did was come to the park, hand pick who they needed, get on the bus, here's a check. You know what I'm saying? And then once again, I'm just saying out there, I don't know the whole story as far as what they got paid. I don't know that. But
Mhm.
N1 got their players from Rucker and went on
Mm.
tour. You know what I'm saying? Put their own little spin behind it. So you come to where the blueprint is at. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
Right.
I'm looking at y'all podcast. I'm looking on what y'all streaming. I'm like StreamYard.com. Everybody hit me up with a Zoom link. Like StreamYard, all right, bet. So
Yeah.
all somebody gonna do is look at y'all content and figure it out. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right.
they got a blueprint from somebody, and that's what
Right.
N1 did. So I'm not gonna say they had more, but they found the blueprint and added more to it. You know
Got
what I'm
it.
saying? And that's everybody. You feel what I'm saying? I do regular mac and cheese. I just had a 4 cheese mac and cheese the other day. Like, oh, yeah, do this? What they did is took blueprint A and made blueprint B. That's it.
What?
You
And
know what I'm
Three
saying?
more cheeses.
sometimes the blueprint is perfect, and the people try to spin it and make extra, and it's worse, and it winds up
Mhm.
Yeah,
being not as, you know what I'm saying, that original.
not as
At
genuine.
least you had that original back. You know?
But
Yeah.
I do see this though. I see that sometimes what we see in basketball, because it's so the grassroots level and the top level is even though it's so far away, it's still connected. You know what I mean? So I feel like
Mhm.
it's definitely a trickle up thing with basketball in terms of like the swag and the showmanship, because it all starts in the park. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
And then
everybody started in the park.
you know, and that's how like. But when you see like the oohs and ahs of the players, is players that played like, you know, we
Yeah.
adore the Kyries, we adore the Ron Stricklands and all these creators and all these handling guys, the Marburys and all this. Why do we do it?
Mhm.
Park
Yeah,
play.
it's park play. Everybody started in the park. Everybody picked up a basketball in the park. Nobody went to nobody's gym first.
Mhm.
Every basketball player started in the park. Matter of fact, if you see a basketball player, right, that's walking by a park, let's say me and you, let's say we did this podcast, somebody was shooting a day in the life of Mike Larry, right? Y'all
Mhm.
filming and walk by. If we walk by a park and it's open, I see, but I'm probably gonna say, yo, can I get a shot?
Mhm.
That's just it's
Right.
second nature.
Right.
Mhm.
You understand? Like, you know what I mean? So I see somebody's podcast and a close friend of yours be like, y'all want you to check out my podcast. After the podcast over, they calling you. Why? Because they value your opinion. This is what you do. You
Mhm.
understand? And then you could critique, yo, your mic was a little low. It wasn't EQ'd right. You understand?
Right.
Your camera was
Mhm.
leaning. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
understand? Like
Right.
you weren't looking straight up. You want so your posture was off, like stuff like that. You
Right.
understand? So
Mhm.
I've learned all those things, man. And the grassroots basketball is slowly but surely coming back. And trying to get some NBA players to come back and resurface the NBA the playgrounds because it's needed.
Do you
Mhm.
like the way the game is played now, Mike? Because you're from an era that blended over. The game is
Bully ball.
yeah, it's different from how it was played even in the early 2000s. So do you
Mhm.
enjoy the way the game is played now? Do you have a problem with the way the game is played now? Do you find it
What I don't like is so let me answer your question first,
I'm
right?
about to say.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with how the game's played. My
right?
biggest issue is that there's too much crying,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like if you really want to be technical, every play down is a foul.
Everyone.
Right.
Every single one.
So if you want to be technical,
Right.
I'm just gonna go beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep. Now the game is not enjoyable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Davis, not rest in peace, David Stern, but
Silver.
who's the new
Adam
commissioner?
Silver.
Adam Silver came on recently. I think it was NBA TV, and he stated, players got to play. No days off. They got to
That
understand we're
too, man.
entertainment.
That too.
Yeah,
Kills me.
so that bugs me out. I ain't got no knock on LeBron, but you played, I think, one full season,
Right.
82 games. You've been in the
Yep.
league 19 years. You only got one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me, the GOAT debate is over right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mike played
Mhm.
at least 12, 13 out of the 16 years he been there. You
That's a
understand? So
that's a perfect way to segue, Mike. Look at you, Mike. You segueing, Mike.
listen,
See.
I try my best.
So who is
Yeah.
your top three, Mike? Since you want to talk about
See.
goats, come on.
Now,
NBA,
now we
Top
doing
three
it.
all time. Come
my
on.
top three all time: Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Steph Curry. Top three,
Wow.
right?
Oh, that's different.
It is.
Hey,
Now, my reason is because all three of those guys changed the game.
oh, for sure.
Michael Jordan. When people talk about Michael Jordan, the first they talk about 6-0
Yep. 6-0 in the finals.
or
Unblemished.
6-0 in the
Never
finals.
went to game 7.
Can't say nothing. He don't even know what it
Never
is.
went to a game 7.
He don't even know
You
what it
understand?
is.
He don't know what that's like.
Yep.
You understand? Allen Iverson, cornrows, tattoos,
Culturally.
baggy
icon.
clothes, chain. They put a dress code because they got tired of him sitting wearing
I love
3X
AI, man.
t-shirts.
AI is different.
You know what I'm
Swagged
saying?
out. Swagged
They
out though.
They put a zone. They put a zone in the league.
Yep.
You change the culture,
Yep.
and then you got Steph Curry because kids. He's now giving kids if you can't dunk, that's okay.
Right.
We have a spot for you. You
In the
understand?
corner.
In the league, if you could shoot, you could get paid.
But
You're
Mike,
right.
but Mike, but Mike,
Shout
but
out
Mike.
Kyle
I'm
Korver.
sorry to cut you off, but Mike. This kills me, bro, because yes, I get Steph. I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry, I have so much appreciation, not even for the way he shoots the ball. I have appreciation for the way he runs around the court and finds ways to get open and does things without the ball in his hands. But my thing is you got all these guys now, 7'1", shooting, man. I'm like,
I
bro,
agree.
you got a little
I
guy.
agree.
Put his ass in the post. No,
So
we're gonna sit out there in the
that's
corner.
how Minnesota Timberwolves lost
Yeah,
because Karl Anthony Towns you won the 3-point contest.
bro, it
Now you're
kills me.
shooting the three when you had they lost to Memphis. They had Devin Brooks on him. He was
Yeah,
out there on the 3-point line.
if that was Shaq,
Boy,
would
if
have
you don't
been
get to the
barbecue
box
chicken.
and
Yeah.
if you don't finish it, like
That's
what you
that's
playing
that's
with?
my issue with Embiid though, because I don't know
Yeah.
he's like choosy when he wants to play like back to the basket versus shoot the three. I'm like
And that's what you can't have. You can't be wishy-washy. Either you're going to be or you're not.
Mhm.
You understand? Or you just have to pick your spots.
right.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't shoot, but fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, you're not allowed to take a three.
Everybody want to
I'm
be a
not saying,
hero.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not saying to take. I'm not saying you can't take it. What I am saying is that fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, paint work.
All paint work.
Paint work. That's all you're allowed. Planet Fitness, Blink, 24-hour,
Crunch.
you crunch. You're there.
Retro all
Yep,
in it.
retro, you know what I mean, dolphin, whatever. You're there. You understand? Like that's where you working out at. You're not at the 3-point line. That's
Yeah.
not
Right.
you. I don't
Yeah.
even if it is, I don't want to see you there.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't have a problem with how the game is played. I have a problem with people not playing a role correctly. I'm
Right.
not going to ask Alex Rodriguez to come and shoot a 3 for me. No, I need you to
Right.
get on. I need you to get on base.
Right. Right.
You understand? So know your personnel. You
Yeah.
understand? Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns, you won. You probably you put yourself. I'm the best big man shooter. I ain't gonna go that far, but you won a 3-point
Right.
shot. Congratulations, whoop-de-doo, brother. Now paint
Right.
work. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Especially with Delvin
I
Brooks
agree.
on you, paint work.
Yep.
I feel like
So
a
you
lot of
gotta
people
pick your poison.
should be like a lot of people I see now is like some people like, I mean, granted, pick and pop and you know all this stuff is as effective for big man shooting. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But it's also
Mhm.
like get with Olajuwon, get with KG and them, get that footwork down, get
Yeah.
that reverse pivot, that up and unders. You know what I mean?
You
Get
see what
all
Kobe,
that.
you see what Kobe did. God bless the dead. Kobe Bean Bryant, legendary day when he came to Rucker Park. I was a kid in the stands when that happened. But
Chill out.
I wish I was in those
Chill
stands.
out. I would have been crying.
man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
My God.
bananas. He worked out with Hakeem Olajuwon. They was like, "Why you working with Hakeem Olajuwon?
Footwork.
What he gonna teach you? Footwork.
Yep.
Footwork.
Yep.
And that's why I tell I play ball now every once in a while for recreational purposes, and I be hitting shots. And they be like, "What are you doing?" It's footwork.
Yeah.
I can't out jump you. I can't outrun you.
No.
I outshoot you though. I'm gonna shoot you lights out. Don't let me
And
get to my
spacing
spot.
too. Spacing too.
Yeah,
Like knowing your
it has a
spacing.
lot
and
to
your-
do with everything.
Between
lot to do with
Kobe
everything.
and
Yeah.
Melo, the best footwork I've ever seen in between
Melo's a pure
plays.
shooter.
And MJ and Michael Jordan.
That's
Yeah,
true
they
too.
Pure. It's pure. I watched a clip on YouTube of Mike and Kobe, and they so identical.
Side by
I'm talking about
side?
fade away.
Yeah.
That joint looks so crazy to me, yo.
It's patent.
That's the only reason why I was a Kobe fan, because when Mike retired, I still felt like Mike was there. I watched Kobe,
Right.
and I'm like, yo, this is Mike, B. I'm
Killer.
tight.
Two killers.
Fade move,
Mhm.
everything.
But
I
here's the
know.
thing: is there a difference?
And Kobe and Mike.
Yeah.
Kobe so the difference between Mike and Kobe is a 2000 Honda Accord versus a 2020 Honda Accord. In other words, they both durable, but they added some features.
Right.
One got
You
seat
understand? So-
warmers and
Yeah,
GPS.
you understand? So
Yeah.
Mike,
That's a good way
Mike
to
is
look at
Mike gonna finesse you. Kobe
Right.
gonna finesse you and skill you. He wanna,
Mhm.
you understand? So he just
Yeah.
added a couple features to it.
Right.
You understand? So that's all he did. I like both of them. Once again, Mike is my guy. You
Right.
understand? I was a Mike Jordan fan, and still Mike was my guy. You understand? So I felt for when he played for the Knicks, because my dad was a New York Knicks fan.
Oh boy.
Like I already know I'm gonna have to go to bed at a certain time because my pop's about to be
Oh
tight.
yeah. He's gonna be
I
mad.
can listen.
He's gonna be
I'll
mad.
tell you right now. My mom had bought me some Jordan 13s, whatever.
Mhm.
Nice little Jordan poster. We still living in Brooklyn at the time. My dad come home, vex. My dad ripped the poster down, took the Jordans, hot, right? The next day, when I tell you the next day I come home, brand new Ewans, new poster. I'm like, oh,
Pops was trying to adopt you to a Knicks.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wanted you to,
Nah, he was trying to tell you.
Knicks joint.
He wasn't giving you a choice.
Nah, he was not.
Now,
He
shout
was
out
like,
to my pops. My pops allowed me to pick my own teams. Like so,
Me too.
one
My
day for
dad
my
did
birthday,
too.
my father, he took me to a Knicks game versus the Bulls. So to see Mike, that's when he dropped the double nickel. You feel what I'm saying on the Bulls, and I was at that game as a kid, and I was getting booed crazy because I'm the only one with a Jordan jersey on.
course.
Everybody like boo. And my pops like, y'all can boo, just don't get crazy because
Right.
it could go the other way. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
so that was an enjoyable. You know, I really enjoyed that. So, you know what I mean, this game could take you around the world. When they say that basketball take you around the world, it could take you around the world, man. You just got to put yourself in position to win.
Mike, who has a better handle? My bad, Los. Mike, who has a better handle? Kyrie or Allen Iverson?
I knew you was going there.
I was going to ask you. I had
going
to ask
Kai.
you.
Kai.
Oh, I had to ask you. Especially when you said AI before and him being in the top 3.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, you do. I'm going to go Kyrie. Right? I'm going to go Kyrie.
I agree too.
That's
now,
tough, during AI's time, of course, it was AI, but Kyrie, because Kyrie figured out a way to he finesses it. It's skillful,
right?
You understand? Like I seen
move on,
dribbling the ball with his fingertips. Like
yeah.
I'm like, that's a warm up. It makes sense now why you violating these guys. You understand? So
Right.
things of that nature. So I'm gonna go Kyrie.
I feel like AI, even though his crossover was lethal, it was like a couple moves. It was like swing, bye. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Kyrie's like in and out.
Because there's a defense. So there was no defense for AI's move, right? It was
Absolutely.
brand new. Nobody's seen it.
Right.
So they were like, "Whoa, what's
Right.
this?" You understand? What's this? Nobody's seen a Tesla before. They're like, "Huh?" You understand?
Right.
So now they looking at Kyrie's and they like Kyrie just took AI once again the blueprint, right? Took
Right.
AI's and then added Rod Strickland, Greg Anthony, added, you know what I mean, Tim Hardaway,
Tim
added
Hardaway,
all
yeah.
these guys, Isaiah Thomas, you put in a bowl and mixed it. Now you got Kyrie. You feel? So now people's like, yo, what Tesla model is this, man? Like, what's happening?
Listen,
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what
that's
we're saying.
the X50. We ain't gonna see one of those for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
X50. That man is different with that ball.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And then in terms of, okay, yeah, now you break the defender down, but then finishing at the rim,
it's tough,
bro.
And he finished with any hand efficiently.
I don't think I've seen someone like that in the last couple of years because it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like the wrong mechanics. Like, you know, they tell you opposite hand, you know, opposite leg. He's going like left, like what are you doing? Bro,
Yeah.
he knows the angles, like where to put the ball. Like it's like geometry with this nigga, man. Because
Definitely.
Best finisher at the rim I think I've ever seen as a little guy. I don't even call him a little guy, but you know,
6'4" under.
Yeah, like you know, just finishing at the rim, having the touch he has on big guys that he can finish over. Kyrie just different, man. Like
that's a fact.
Now, Mike, let me ask you this: if you could relate your game, not your game, but your announcing commentary game to an NBA comp, who would you be, and why?
To an NBA commentator?
No, just like a player, like a player.
NBA player?
Yeah.
It's the first time somebody asked me that. That's tough, Los. What you was doing your homework? That's tough. If I had to compare my style, my energy to an NBA player, it would either. So when I first started out, I would say Russell Westbrook, right? Just go, bing, 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 just go, right? I would say him. I go, right? I was on go mode from start to finish until I realized when I was in Australia, I had to do 30 games in 3 days, and I lost my voice, my championship. So I was like, whoa, I can't go on 1,000 from start to finish. You gotta, you know what I mean? Take your time. So right now, I would probably say Steph. Maybe Luka, right? Because they pick
control the pace.
Poison. Yeah, they pick their times when they're going to score 15 in a quarter, when they're going to score 5, right? But they end up with 38. You understand?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I learned over the time. Good question, though, Los. That's tough.
Hey, man, I'm here. Pat, what about you, man?
What? Who else?
Your podcasting game right now. Who would you say is your yeah, I mean, your comp right now.
Shit. I would say I'm methodical. I like to prep. So, shit, man, that's a good one.
Like a Shane Battier.
You know who I would like to say? Actually, you know what? Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler. Because
hold people accountable, though.
When it comes to me and it comes to doing stuff, I want it to be perfect. And I'm like real. Like go mode on shit. So it's like when Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, that right there,
playoff Jimmy is a different.
What about you, Los? Since you asked the question, what about you, Los?
Yeah.
Oh man, let me think.
Don't say Julius Randle.
I wouldn't say no dumb shit like that. He can't even go right. You know what I'm saying? That's like the only. That's like I can't do that.
Don't say Julius.
I might say. It's so many people. I think I think I might say, like, when I first started, I think I might say I was like Magic T-Mac, because I was just like, I was trying to do like 1,000 episodes a day, just trying to like just dunk on everybody. Like, all right, we bet my podcast is the best podcast in the world. Bang. Joe Rogan, you ain't shit. Bang. You know what I mean? Now I would say more like, damn. Luka was a good one, but I would say I'm more like Kawhi.
There you go.
That's tough.
Like Kawhi, because Kawhi is not bothered, he's not phased,
Mhm.
and he takes what everybody gives him.
You just reminded me of there's a clipping going viral on Rick Ross when he said, "I don't want to move fast. I want to move correctly."
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, people, and that's what it is, right? I don't want to move fast. I want to move correct. He said it could take 5 years or it could take 10 years. I don't want to waste no time. I just want to move correctly. So yeah, that's a good one. That's tough.
When you look, I call him robot because I think he's a robot. But when you look at Kawhi, no wasted efforts. You know what I mean? Like just he don't look like he's out of control.
Rucker, that's the nickname I have for him. Is iRobot.
Really? Okay. Because I'm like, dude, like, this is a setting or is this your real personality?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like that. But even though I'm more active than I don't get injured in this shit. You know what I mean? I don't get bronchitis and strep and shit. You know, I'll be ready to go. My availability is my best ability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's tough. I may have to take that one.
Yo, Mike, I know. Mike, I know you say you have a wife. You know you met my wife, right? At one of the interviews you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know Ash Nicole.
I'm about to say I don't know he was even married.
It's the wife. You know it's that wife that. My son know who I'm talking about. My son knows who I'm talking about.
Hold on, don't worry about it. I'm pulling up the Google right now.
Yeah, super tough. I seen you on her page. I said, "Oh, that's Mike." I said, "Oh, that's Mike."
See.
I said like this. I said,
the research.
God damn
it. Sports Illustrated. Yeah.
But how was that interview? How was that? Like that whole process?
So that was off Rucker Park, of course. You understand?
Right.
They just trying to bring prominence back, and Sports Illustrated wanted to do a interview. Me and my partner, Rel, Voice of My City, we do Rucker Park. We are the Bad Boys of Street Ball. That's our group name. And the Bad Boys of Street Ball, Rel, Voice of My City. Y'all look him up when you get a chance. You may want to get him on here as well. So they came on and they interviewed us. You understand? It was dope. And they was asking us about the culture of basketball. You know, just asking us the stuff that we need. They wanted to know about street ball basketball, how we energize and stuff like that. Like I said, I've been doing it 9 years now, so I've learned how to pick my poison. You know what I mean? I pick my shots when I'm going to go hard, when I'm going to take a break off, let the DJ, how important it is to let the DJ, you work with the DJ and the DJ work with you.
Exactly.
Had to let a couple DJs know this is not a house party. This is not the club. It's a basketball game. Like, relax. You understand? So, but you learn that over time. You learn that over time for sure.
I think that's dope.
They like this, huh? Oh, my bad. Turn it off.
Yeah. No, that's what I have to deal with, man. That's what I have to deal with, man, for sure.
Now,
okay, all right, but I wanted to get back to the to the New York basketball thing because I think I'm in my scouting bag. You know what I mean? I'm looking at all these because social media. I'm looking at all these kids. Like these kids now are so skilled. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if you know some of them, but are you on the lookout for some of these kids that's like, that's in the class of 2026, class of 22, 25 and whatnot?
So I used to have the time on my hands to do that, right? Like I used to be able to look up these kids and do my homework, but you know what I mean? I do have a 9 to 5 that I'm using to fund my 5 to 9, right? That's just the life I'm living right now. So
I hear that.
You know what I mean? Gotcha. Then I got 2 kids. I got a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. So daughters at that. So they need the undivided daddy's attention because I'm teaching girls. So I don't have that time to dig in like I want to, but I do be on the lookout watching them. One of them that I call my nephew, Jamel Thomas,
Magic Mel.
You know what I mean?
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know, he's a pro now. He's a pro right now.
You know what I'm saying? And he's always in his bag. And big shout out to Magic Mel and his pop Scooter. You feel what I'm saying? They actually got something coming up with Kyrie. So, they always working. You feel? I see him in the lab. I see him in the gym. You feel? I see him get mad at his pop. His pop get mad at him, but they still in the gym working together. Like I see the discipline. You understand? So stuff like that, man. And then, you know what I mean? Of course, then you got your Ian Jackson, Cardinal Hayes. You have DJ from Cardinal Hayes, who just won MVP. You understand? And then, so you get your people that I'm able to see. You know what I mean? I'm bad with names. That's why I'm in the business of giving out nicknames. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But I see him and I take note. You understand? Like, where I know you from? And they'll tell
I'm
me.
seeing Mellow Kid at Christ the King too.
Mellow
Seeing
Kid,
him.
Cayenne. You know what I mean? He doing his thing too, and he only on a freshman team. Like he ain't really make it to that level yet. You feel what I'm saying? So I seen all these guys play.
Dangerous.
Jose Alvarado. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Grand Theft Alvarado, what they call him now, right?
Yeah.
So I seen these guys play. You know what I mean? Jordan Walker, Jelly JQ. You know, I seen these guys play. So you know
now it's a different bag. JQ's a different. JQ remind me of a little Kyrie. He got a little Kyrie in him.
Yeah, he don't care. Like, and what I like about it, he gonna kill you, and he ain't gonna talk. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. When you ain't gotta do the back and and I'm killing you.
Yeah.
That's
like that Clay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
now, not to get off topic, but you said you had kids. I have a son. I know Los don't have kids yet, but I know this. I know this hit everybody hard. But you know the tragedy that we had yesterday in Texas. I want everybody to share, but I'll start with you, Mike. How did that make you feel, especially having kids of your own, when you heard that news?
It's tough, man. Like I posted on my page, Steve Kerr, when he said, "When are we going to do something about it?"
Right.
Like it hit. Yeah. I'm not taking no basketball questions. When are we going to do something about it?
Right.
You understand? And that's where I'm at with it. Is like, no disrespect. They defunded the police. I'm not saying they could have did anything because he walked in a school. You understand?
Right.
But it hit. You know what I mean? I got two girls, and every time I go home, I look at both of them, and I just hug them. Like I cried the other day. My daughter was just running around playing, laughing. I'm crying.
Right.
She's like, "Well, Daddy, what happened?" I'm like, "You just getting so big."
Yeah.
You understand? Now you got 13 or 14 parents that can't hold their kids. You understand? And it's a sad day that we live in. You understand? And you can't. I'm not going to tell everybody don't walk in fear, but you know, be watchful. You know what I mean? You gotta watch, man. I watch my surroundings. There's plenty of times I go different places, and I'll be like, and as soon as I get there, I'll be like, I'm out, energy off.
Yeah.
And I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, I don't care what the check look for you. I give it back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I declined. I had an event to do one time, and the guy kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you." I'm like, "All right, bet." And you know, when you say you're gonna pay me, I normally do contract to invoice. That's how I work. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sign no contracts. I'm gonna take your word. Now I need to know what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going all the way out to where I was supposed to be going for $50. You bugging. You feel what I'm saying? So, I ended up declining it after he told me what the price was. The price was decent, but I ain't like how he was doing business. So I said,
like the energy, really.
Yeah, because my reputation, my character is everything. You understand? Right. So, in light of that Texas situation, it hit, man, because kids go to school expecting to come back home.
Right.
You know what I mean? You send your kids to school expecting to pick them up.
Right.
You understand? So you gotta do something. They gotta figure out something. As Steve Kerr said, sign the paper, sign the bill, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do a background check before you get these people guns. You know what I mean? Now they're gonna find a way to get it, but at least everybody ain't privy to it.
Right.
You understand? So it hit, man. You know what I mean? Love on and hug your family when you get a chance. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, we got to see Jesus at some point in our life.
Right. Right. So go ahead, Lou.
I mean, you know, it was my sentiments exactly. You know, Steve Kerr pretty much, you know, put a nail in the head, and I think that for most people, why they were questioning why was Steve so passionate is because he can relate. You know, his dad was a professor. You know what I'm saying? And he died, I think, on school grounds, on campus grounds.
Assassinated.
Shot in the head. Yeah.
So he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
You know, and it's like, to me, it's like, you know, it's numb because, you know, you see what the world we're living in, and it's like, this shit is heinous. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
don't mean to cut you off, Los. I had seen a post on, and I should have saved it too. I should have screenshot it. I seen a post on my Instagram on Facebook, one or two. A homeboy said, he had posted and it said, normal life, mass shooting, social media.
Yes.
Debate.
Circle.
Normal life. And that's crazy.
Goes back to like nothing's. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
My my pops always asked me, he said, son, why you don't watch the news? Ain't nothing good on the news. And then I make a
Nothing
joke,
good.
right?
I
He goes,
never watch it.
and then he said, sometimes the sports is good. I said, no, because if my team lost, then I'm still mad. There's
Yeah, I ain't
nothing
watching.
good
Yeah.
on the news.
No, I don't watch the news at all.
Nothing.
It's always
That's
negative.
Right.
nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So go,
House
you continue,
burned down
Los. I just
here.
wanted to
This
state
person got beat up.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that, man. I'm just trying to see what's going on in the world.
Right.
Because all that's doing is pushing fear.
The
Right.
negative, yeah, and the fear. Yeah.
Right.
It's pushing fear. And then you
Right.
can't live your life because you're scared to live your life.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Man,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I can't do it, man.
Yeah,
My
and
fault
I'll
to cut you off, Los.
no. You that was like excellent. I needed that because I'm like what I saw too was like sometimes people don't agree to it, but I'm like I just seen like somebody I think for what I forgot what they said verbatim, but it was basically like all right, yeah, now we're forcing people to have kids, but then they don't even feel protected in schools. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like
Mm.
this is the world we're living in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to have a kid, but then when you send them to school,
Right.
they're not guaranteed their protection. So it's like
Definitely.
enough's enough, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think just quickly to piggyback off y'all, like for me, it's just having a kid and you hug your son, daughter, whatever. That love that you feel, even when you see them born, everything, the love that you feel. I can't imagine what they're feeling. I know that I would lose my mind if that happened to me personally. But to have somebody 18, I don't care what they are, going through so much that they think that they need to go to a school and kill a bunch of innocent kids that, again, like you said, when they go to school, they believe that's the place to learn, that's the place to grow, not a place to be buried. The school grounds where you're not going to see somebody graduate in third, fourth grade, going on stage, but now they have blood, right? Now there's blood all over the place, right? Where something where it should be so beautiful, it turns so violent. And this is just 10 days after innocent black people were killed in Buffalo. Like this shit is a constant thing that we become numb to, but we can't become numb because at this point, why are we becoming numb to this? This is something serious. This is not. This is around the world, yes, but the U.S. has the most mass shootings as far as schools with kids in the world, and there's places that there's barbarian. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, man, we don't set a good example in a lot of ways, and this world is a lot of hate and a lot of.
Well, we're oblivious to it, Pat.
It's just I know, but it really bothers me, and to see kids,
but
and
not us
parents,
though. Like I'm talking about the powers that be and the government.
The
So they
Senate,
see this stuff
people,
happening.
They just worried about power, and you're like these people losing their kids, and yeah, man. But I know we kind of got to go soon. So, Mike, I want to ask.
Man, I got a few more minutes. I had,
I want to. This is going to take up the rest of the time. I want to ask you. Period. Mike, what is culture? When you think of culture, the first thing you think of when you think of culture, what does that word mean to you when you think of that word?
Wow, I'm torn, right? Because when I think of culture, I think about so first word that comes to my mind is bad. Like, why is that word? Because as a culture, we doing bad. You feel what I'm saying? So people are like, nah, and I think about culture. That's what you think about. When I think about culture, I think we're doing bad.
Right.
You feel, there's a clip of a couple years ago, Jay-Z did a concert and he dropped the music out and he said, we all got the mentality of the crab in the barrels, but crab don't belong in the barrels. And as a culture, we're doing bad because if you want, I say this all the time, my partner Rel, he can attest to this, is if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And as a culture, we doing bad. But on the opposite side of that, culture to me is fashion, is lingo, your language, right? Your terminology, the snapbacks, you feel what I'm saying? The dad hats, right? Champion, right? The J's on your feet, right? So for every Mike, there's a Miguel, right? Like,
chill out.
This was on the last podcast. I know Mike.
Chill out.
I tune in every once in a while.
I'm dead.
So you feel what I'm saying? That's culture, right? The yo mama jokes. It's culture. You understand? When people, I grew up when people talk about your mama jokes, but they keep certain mama jokes out because they could turn left. You understand? So when I hear certain things, I'm like, that don't bother me. It bothers kids now. It don't bother me. You understand? So hearing that culture, I think we could do better as a culture, but I think we have the best culture, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Too. I definitely
Absolutely,
think
you
so.
can see it. It's pocketed and
everywhere.
patented by everybody else. You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
that's a
Everywhere.
perfect
You know what I'm
answer.
saying?
Too.
And you know the crazy thing is too, and I'm doing a independent research on this. When did we redefine Black culture as urban culture? When did we
We
do
didn't
that?
do it.
No,
We didn't do it.
all right. When did that happen? Like when did this
It happened because they couldn't say it.
right,
Right.
They had to find their own word for it.
Right.
You can't be from the other side and say, I don't like your Black culture because now it's racist.
right.
So to take the racist out of it, I'm gonna call it urban.
But we all know what urban mean though.
Which is fine with me. Come correct. We
are.
urban. I'm
You know what I'm
urban
saying?
today.
Right,
You feel what I'm
right.
saying?
You know what I'm
Los
saying?
and Pat could say the Black culture. You,
Right.
we urban to you,
Right,
brother.
right,
You feel what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? We
What I
doing
see,
bad,
I
but we
see
could
some
do
shit
better.
on Facebook, and it was like it was like a white girl. She had a Dewey on, right, and it was like an urban head tie. I said, oh,
Oh shit.
She had to.
Oh
She had
shit.
to. They had to do that. Like the politicals, the views is different. You
Right.
understand? Like I've learned that
Right.
dealing with the LTBQ. So I say I don't know the whole acronym, right? LTBQAI. They always ask us. So I just say disclaimer. I love y'all, but I say alphabet community, right? So one day, me and my friend was having a debate, and I posted something on one of my social media page, and they try to cancel me, and I'm like, oh, it's that serious? Like, so there's certain things I don't talk about because it's nasty out there.
don't say any
can't.
word.
But
Yeah, real
once
nasty.
again, growing up in the culture, we talked about that,
All
and it
the
didn't
time.
offend nobody.
Yeah,
All the
now,
time.
now you gotta
Now
watch
it
everything
does.
you do. Everything
You can't say the F word no more. You can't say the T word no more.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
No.
you know, and then where we're saying like we used to say that shit in like
All the
I'm
time.
like Dave Chappelle. I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing.
Listen, man, you don't want nobody coming after you with a fake gun and a bayonet at a concert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't need it, man. I don't need it. I once again, I know y'all got a couple. I don't know if y'all got any more street ball or as far as culture questions. You know what I mean? You got a few more. You know, we could talk about that. That's if I know. Pat had hit me up with a couple questions and all that. So, but I know you're using your phone. Your questions is probably in your phone, right?
All up on my shit, but that's all right. But I remember you telling me you said you met Shaq.
Yeah, so
The
Donovan
Diesel.
Mitchell game. Yeah, so the Donovan Mitchell game, Shaquille O'Neal came out, and he was actually the honorary coach along with Cameron.
Okay.
So
Killer.
yeah, so I did that basketball game, and I met him. Shaquille O'Neal's the only person one of the only prominent stars that didn't come to Rucker Park that got a nickname. I gave him the nickname the Serial Killer, and I was just talking to Shaq. I was just talking to Shaq probably like a week ago, and trying to work on some things. So yeah, I met Shaquille O'Neal. It was a dope pleasure. Real humble dude. He's really he just liked to have fun. He liked to joke. He liked to have fun.
Right.
And he always dropping knowledge. Once again, I know it don't scare me. So I'm always asking questions because I just want to grow as an entrepreneur. I want to grow as a man. I want to grow in wisdom. I want to grow all across the board. Oh, they're gonna tell you.
That's definitely the dude to ask for in terms of business and entrepreneurship. The Diesel's definitely the best person.
It's him. And if I ever come across Steve Harvey, like if I ever bump into Steve Harvey, he got a problem. We got to talk about it.
Mike will be like, come here. Hold on.
Well,
yeah.
So, things of that nature. So yeah, Shaquille O'Neal was a great and still is an inspiration because he, give me a little heads up here and there. I actually went viral on he posted a couple of my clips and stuff like that on his story and stuff like that. It went big and people were talking about over 1 million views. I'm like, oh snap.
That's love. That's so much love.
Good, you know what I mean? So I thank him, appreciate you for posting. One time he posted and forgot to tag me and somebody looked at it and was like, yo, Mike, you on Shaq page. What? Oh,
yeah.
snap.
Oh, that's crazy.
Shaq,
that tag.
Hey, Diesel.
Hey, your big ass better tag me.
Diesel. I ain't gonna say all that now, but
exactly, right?
that man got that nuclear in his right hand. All right, you saw we did Charles that one time, almost did Charles.
Like they said, they're gonna be moving furniture.
Yeah, that's a fact. Big shout out to Tim Thomas, who used to play for the Knicks, Phoenix Suns. I did his showcase in Jersey, and that was big too. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? He's another one that just pour wisdom and stuff like that. So, anybody I come across, I try. I can learn something from anybody. You feel what I'm saying? My nephew just taught me something the other day.
Every
And
day.
he's about to graduate college. You understand? And he told me, uh, um, humility is strength under fire. You feel what I'm saying? That's humility. When you know somebody's doing you wrong, and you
Right.
just be humble and let it pass.
Right.
That's humility. And I was like, Dad, my nephew taught me that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I
You
preach
on
humility
game.
all the time, and he just defined it for me. So I'm like, ooh,
Yep.
copy, nephew. I
Yep.
needed that.
And
You
it
feel what I'm saying? And
sometimes
at the
don't even
time, I
matter
was going
age.
through some stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can learn from anybody. If you can't learn
Yeah.
from somebody, then you stop growing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Then now the powers that be, now the you know what I mean, God, and you know what I mean, they be like, if you're not gonna be uh, an effective citizen in the earth, why you need to
Right.
breathe this air? And then it become
Right.
a whole nother thing, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
you gotta be careful, you know what I mean? I just wanna always be effective. I ain't asked to be famous, I just asked to be effective.
Mm. Mm.
I love that, man. That's a great quote. And Mike, honestly,
I need
Mike,
that one.
yeah, like Mike, since I met you, since I got a chance to even just chat with you that first time at that game, all the way to following you, bro, like everything I see is always growth. And I could really say that, not just on no bullshit. People
Appreciate
always
that, man.
say, just to be nice, but no, for real, like there's always growth. And everything that I've seen you do, it's like you hit the next plateau. Boom, 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 boom. You hitting these marks that it's just like, damn, like you see people and it's like they give you
Appreciate that.
inspiration
Thanks a
that
lot.
like you are one person I can say for me personally that you give me inspiration because me starting this with Los, it's like we starting from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
But I want to hit these marks. I have these marks that I can see clear that I want to
And,
Mhm.
and
hit, and that's where I want to go. And to see you do these things, I know that like you said, anything's possible as long as you humble. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, and the way I got that, I had a clothing line. I'm about to bring it back out, which is hashtag Stay Humble. And
Mhm.
the way I got that was I was doing to get ready to go do that basketball game with Cam and Shaq and the
Mhm.
Adidas game. So I was getting ready to do it at Rucker Park, and my dad said, "Son, congratulations on this gig. Just stay humble." I'm like, "All right, yeah, no doubt, pops." But that's what pops is supposed to tell you.
Right.
I get to the park, and Shaq was like, "Yo, I like how you moving, big. You know what I mean? Just stay humble." So I'm like, "You got the phone, my pop? What you talking about?" Like, now that's two
Mhm.
people. And then Cameron, he was there, and I gave him power. Cam was like, "Yo, keep doing your thing, young killer. Just stay humble with it." I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, nah, that's 3 times in one day." I went trademarked
Good.
that, all that.
Mhm.
Like, give me that. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I realized, like, you know what I mean? Me being a religious person, He gives the scripture says he gives grace to the humble and deprives the pride. You feel what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like he don't want to
Mm.
deal with the pride, and I
Mhm.
need as much grace as possible because that's what's going to get me to the next level. And you know what I mean? Just looking at your podcast, like when you asked me to be on it, I did my research. Let me see what he be talking about. You
Mhm.
understand? Because
Right.
I don't want to tie my name to BS. You know what I mean? But y'all
Right.
got a
Mhm.
great thing going. Keep it going.
I
And
appreciate
every
that.
idea
Appreciate it.
you have, write it down. Write
Yep.
every idea down, man.
Yep.
You
Mm.
feel what I'm saying? Once again, me being a PK kid, a preacher's kid, and being
Mhm.
into the church thing, you feel what I'm saying? The people lack perish by not writing things down. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm.
So I write it down, man. I write everything down, and slowly but surely, I'm knocking off these checklists. You feel what I'm saying? And but one day at a time, easy does
Right.
it. One day at a time. You know what I mean? Slow
Mhm.
progress is still progress.
Absolutely.
Mike, I
Yeah.
got one more request for you, man.
Talk
I'm
to me.
putting you on the spot. I do this with people that are entertainers, so I'm putting you on the spot,
Oh,
Mike. I'm
let's do
sorry.
it. I
I
already
did
know
this with
where
my
we
homie
go.
Amari, but I'm really gonna put you on the spot, Mike.
He gave you one earlier.
Mike, I know, but I need one. I need one right now. I need one right now with two nicknames, Mike. I need a nickname for me and a nickname for Los,
Oh
and I need
shit.
you to end this. I
Yikes.
want you to end this show for me. That's what I want right now. Can you do that?
Yikes.
If you can't do it, no,
Yikes.
no pressure. But the
Yikes.
guy that's talented,
Uh-huh.
come on,
So
man.
I got funny nicknames for y'all, and I'm gonna try to get a business one, right?
Go
So
ahead, baby.
the
If
funny
people do funny,
nickname
it
for
don't matter.
Los, the funny nicknames for Los is Julius Los Randos, right? JLR, right? Right? And for you, I got the Spanish Ebro, right? So
Chill
you
out.
know what I mean?
Chill out.
That's the fun one, right?
That just
The
says me,
bus
bro.
Spanish Ebro en la mañana.
Shit.
yeah. The Spanish Ebro and JLR, right?
Oh my
Julius Los
god, that's
Randos.
hilarious, son.
And then for business side, you feel what I'm saying? I got there was I seen somebody say the young black entrepreneur, right? So for Los, it'd be Mr. Intellect, you feel what I'm saying? and for you, Pat, it'll be Mr. Motivator. You feel what I'm saying? Because you
Okay.
figure out a way. And the reason why I say that because Los, just listen to you talk. I could tell you do a lot of research, you do a lot of reading, you know, and I could be wrong, you know, if I am, let me know. But I know you do a lot of tapping in research here and there,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? I know, and with you, Pat, you figure out a way to motivate. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know what you just did to me as far as encouraging. Like, you see me, and which makes you want to go. You understand? It's spooky hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Scary hours. So
Right.
I appreciate y'all. So on my way out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Hey,
I'm your man from across the bridge where hip hop got started from, the Boogie Down Bronx, New York, and they call me yours truly, Mike Larry. If you don't know by now, you catch me at Rocker Park, but tonight I'm here on that good podcast. Not just any podcast. Don't be silly. Tap in with Culture Shock Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Yo.
we don't need to do anything else.
We don't. That's episode number 5, y'all. Good night.